because somebody says something, that doesn't make it evidence. And right now, what we have is people saying, well, we have evidence. As attorneys, we know that that evidence has to be tested in court. And that is what due process really looks like. It's not just saying that somebody is MS-13.
Yeah, not so fast, Crockett. We're going to look at this and present what evidence and facts that we have found. And then I'll tell you what is really going on here and the reason why it doesn't matter what evidence is presented, her mind's already made up. Let's jump into it. What's up, gang? Carlton Flowers here with the Go Political channel, continuing on this lovely topic of illegal immigration. And in today's video, I am going to break down a few things and show you some facts of what I dug up that proves a point. It really doesn't matter what evidence is there. Jasmine Crockett and other liberal Democrat politicians, their mind is already made up, and there's a reason why their mind is made up. It doesn't matter what evidence is presented. They already have a conclusion because there is an agenda going on here. So we're going to look at a clip, and then I'll come back and share with you the evidence that I found that will underscore my point that it doesn't matter what evidence is presented. Her mind is made up.
Because somebody says something, that doesn't make it evidence. And right now, what we have is people saying, well, we have evidence. As attorneys, we know that that evidence has to be tested in court. And that is what due process really looks like. It's not just saying that somebody is MS-13. It is a matter of a judge determining whether or not that evidence would be admissible and having the ability to look at the credibility of the witness offering that evidence, such as when we're talking about Kilmore. If we look at that, it says I've got a couple of articles. There's an article that says government's case against Abrego Garcia is based on PG County cop who was on the SA's do not call list because he was not a credible witness. The only person that said that he was MS-13 is a cop that ended up being, I don't think he got fired, but he definitely, okay, never mind. He did get fired. So we're going to say that we're going to base our entire case, so to speak. This is why we have courts. This is why we are talking about due process, because that's what it looks like.
So there you have it. And of course, as you can see, which this happens all the time, the first thing that they're going to do is destroy or challenge the credibility of the witness. So then we can wash all the rest of it down the drain because it's a matter of opinion. So, of course, you know, you've got symbols, tattoos on a hand, pictures that translate exactly to letters and numbers. But then on the other side of the coin, they can say, well, what's the chances that he just made those pictures out of the clear blue sky? Or maybe he's just a fan of the gang and he's not a member of the gang. So that's how they wash away the evidence that they don't like. But here is the evidence that I dug up. And in my opinion, this seems pretty clear. But I guess it's a matter of opinion. So let me give you some of the information about the evidence surrounding this man being involved in the MS-13 gang. Okay, so we're going to go all the way back to 2019. It was Prince George's County Police. They arrested him. I guess it was a stop. And it says here that at that arrest in a Home Depot parking lot in Hyattsville, Maryland, all right, he was nabbed for loitering, him and 3 other guys. So this is the stuff that the Prince County Police noted during that stop. First of all, clothing. They said he had a Chicago Bulls hat and a hoodie with rolls of money. There's a picture of rolls of money, right? Covering the eyes and the ears and the mouth of U.S. presidents. Now, that is indicative of Hispanic gang culture. It's just well known. How else would you know to even do that? Okay, unless you were involved in a Mexican gang. And if you weren't involved in a Mexican gang, why would you put something so specific on your clothing to give police officers the impression that you're in a gang? That would be stupid. So I can't get beyond that. And of course, the Democrats want to say, well, having the Chicago Bulls logo, everybody wears those hats. When you combine the Chicago Bulls hat with the money, with the eyes, ears, and mouth of the U.S. president's covered up, it's obvious. So why do the MS-13 people, why do they like the Chicago Bulls logo? Well, it's because it's got the old Diablo on it, the devil. All right? So the Chicago Bulls logo alone is not proof, but when you match it up with what I just mentioned, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. Okay, so then we had that confidential informant, and it was a past and proven reliable previous source. And that source said that, yeah, he was active with the MS-13 gang and the Western Clique, holding the rank of Chequeo and having the moniker Chele. And so what Jasmine Crockett did, and the people who desperately want to see Abrego Garcia, Kilmore people freed, they destroyed the credibility of the informant because they said he had a SEXUALASSAULT charge in the past. So we just wiped the slate clean. He's no longer a credible source of information. All right, so then association is the next thing. So one of the guys that was arrested with Abrego Garcia had a known criminal history and MS-13 ties. Okay, so here we have two people. One's got the tattoos. Oh, well, no, that's not enough evidence. He's wearing the hat. No, that's not evidence. He also has on the hoodie covering up the eyes, ears, nose, mouth of the U.S. president. Oh, that's no evidence. But the guy that's with him was known to be associated with the MS-13 gang. So birds of a feather comes to mind. All right. Now, the next little item of evidence that they want to sweep under the rug is DHS Form I-213. That is the report of deportable and inadmissible alien. All right. So generated after that arrest, after the 2019 arrest on Home Depot parking lot. The form said that they were alleging that Garcia was a validated MS-13 member. However, it introduced a discrepancy by claiming that he was detained in connection to a murder investigation. Ooh. And the police report did not mention that. They only said loitering. Okay, so we know that the gangbangers, they do the old pow-pow thing. So does that come as much of a surprise that he's hanging out with somebody that is up on a murder charge? Very interesting. So what was the ruling? And then we're going to end here and I'll get to part 2 and we'll go through the rest of it. 2019 Immigration Court ruling. The judge, Elizabeth A. Kessler, denied Abrego Garcia's bond. Why? Well, she cited the gang field interview sheet and the confidential informant statement as sufficient evidence that he's in MS-13. Tattoos, hoodie, all of that good stuff. It says this finding was upheld by the Board of Immigration's Appeals on a clear error standard. Quite interesting. Now, what do you think? Can you wipe away all of that evidence that I just mentioned? Do you agree with Jasmine Crockett that this is all conjecture? It's all, a shady gray area. We can't get a conviction on that. We can't nail a person as being a gang member with this week of evidence. What do you think? Post it in the comments below. And then on the next video, if you said, nope, that's not enough evidence, he's not in a gang just because he's got gang tattoos, Chicago Bulls hat, and a hoodie that has the obvious signs that all Mexican gang members use. If you said, no, that's not enough evidence, wait for part 2 of the sub-series of illegal immigration when we get to the 2022 Tennessee traffic stop. So you're going to want to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss it. And I can't wait to share that one with you because it's going to be like, wow, I don't think you're going to be able to deny it. But that's all I got to say for this one. This is Carlton. I'm out.